Save yourself from hell.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the 90s flops that have since become cult classics.
I don't like my job, and I don't think I'm gonna go anymore.
Number 10, Starship Troopers.
Once, somebody asked me if I knew the difference between a citizen and a civilian. I can tell you now. A citizen has the courage to make the safety of the human race their personal responsibility.
Producer John Davidson told Paul Verhoeven that Starship Troopers would not make its money back. Well, he was right. The movie came with a very hefty budget of $100 million, an extraordinary amount not only for the time, but for an adaptation of a controversial book that was nearly 40 years old.
Naked force has resolved more issues throughout history than any other factor. The contrary opinion, that violence never solves anything, is wishful thinking at its worst. People who forget that always pay.
Starship Troopers was met with a mixed critical response and disappointing box office numbers, failing to recoup its budget and marketing costs. By all accounts, it was a flop, but over time, viewers began to reevaluate the film, coming to appreciate the satire that was largely missed on release. It also received a second life on DVD and found political relevance after 9/11, when its themes hit a lot harder.
Look, when you vote, you are exercising political authority. You're using force. And force, my friends, is violence, the supreme authority from which all other authority is derived.
Number 9, Dark City.
When was the last time you remember doing something during the day?
What do you mean?
I just mean during the day. Daylight. When was the last time you remember seeing it?
Considered one of the greatest sci-fi films of the 90s, Dark City has drawn widespread acclaim for its inventive storytelling, tech-noir aesthetic, and brilliant production design. And to think, virtually nobody saw it upon release.
First, there was darkness. Then came the strangers. They abducted us and brought us here. This city, everyone in it, is their experiment.
It was a bit too weird for general audiences, and obstacles like studio interference and a bad release window hampered its success at the box office. It ended up grossing $27 million, which coincidentally was exactly how much it cost to make. But following its theatrical flop, Dark City found new life on VHS and DVD. In fact, the DVD was one of the first to embrace special features, including a commentary track from Roger Ebert, who helped give the movie a greater appreciation among film buffs.
You wanted to know what it was about us that made us human. Well, you're not gonna find it in here. You went looking in the wrong place.
Number 8, Hocus Pocus.
You know, I always wanted a child, and now I think I'll have one. Toast!
Few movies define the 90s quite like Hocus Pocus, but believe it or not, this film was considered a huge disappointment at the time. It opened way down in 4th place and was booted from the top 10 in just 2 weeks. It finished with about $37 million at the domestic box office, costing Disney about $16 million.
No way! This is my first time! I'll get lost! Besides, it's a full moon outside! The weirdos are out!
Part of its failure is due to the mediocre critical reception, and partly because of its release in July. July! For a Halloween movie. The hope was to catch kids while they were out of school for summer break, but yeah, that didn't work. But thanks to home video and annual airings on TV every Halloween, Hocus Pocus eventually snowballed, or leafballed, into a holiday classic.
Go to hell!
Oh, I've been there, thank you. I found it quite lovely.
Number 7, Eyes Wide Shut.
The important thing is, we're awake now. And hopefully, for a long time to come.
Coming in the summer of 1999, Eyes Wide Shut was a posthumous release for Stanley Kubrick, as he died the previous March. Despite Kubrick humbly calling it the greatest contribution to the art of cinema, it opened to a mixed response, with many calling it boring, nonsensical, and pretentious.
Ladies, where exactly are we going? Exactly.
Where the rainbow ends.
Where the rainbow ends.
Don't you want to go where the rainbow ends?
It also underperformed relative to expectations, especially with the collective star power of Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. But over time, fans and scholars began rewatching the film and analyzing it more seriously, uncovering its surrealism and deeper psychological themes. Furthermore, famous directors like Paul Thomas Anderson and Christopher Nolan have praised it, and it went on to influence things like art, fashion, and even conspiracy theories with its masked secret society of elites.
Listen, Bill, I don't think you realize what kind of trouble you were in last night. Who do you think those people were? Those were not just ordinary people there. If I told you their names, I'm not going to tell you their names, but if I did, I don't think you'd sleep so well.
Number 6. Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me.
The letter that was extracted from beneath the fingernail of Teresa Banks gives me the feeling that the killer will strike again. But like the song goes, who knows where or when?
Twin Peaks was a cultural phenomenon in the early 90s, and it was followed up by a prequel film titled Fire Walk With Me. It was not what fans were expecting. Gone was the quirky small-town coziness of the show, replaced with a deeply troubling story about sexual abuse and missing most of its beloved characters.
Get lost, Bobby.
Oh, yeah? You'll be calling soon and maybe I won't be around.
The film was quickly dismissed, earning scathing reviews, bombing at the box office, and according to David Lynch, even being loudly booed at Cannes. However, fans have since been able to divorce Fire Walk With Me from its parent show and evaluate it on its own terms. And in the process, they discovered one of the director's finest accomplishments. This is quintessential Lynch. Dark, difficult, and very, very weird.
Darwin Rosie. This is the
oh, believe me, I follow.
Is this discovered?
And a dream. We live inside a dream.
Number 5. Event Horizon.
You ever seen fire in zero gravity? It's beautiful. It's like liquid. It slides all over everything.
Sometimes, a studio is forced to eat their own words. Paramount rushed production on Event Horizon so they didn't have to compete with Titanic, and they later demanded extreme cuts, butchering the movie from 130 minutes to just 96, and they were not happy with the results.
It shows you things, horrible things.
What does?
The dark inside me from the other place. I won't go back there. I won't.
Event Horizon bombed both critically and financially, grossing just $42 million on a $60 million budget and earning a horrific D+ cinema score. Like many cult films, Event Horizon later found its dedicated audience through home video and cable TV, and people began to appreciate its unique story and aesthetic. It sold well on DVD that Paramount inquired about restoring the deleted footage for a special director's cut release, at which point it had already been destroyed.
Get the files. Vacate. I want off this ship.
You can't leave. She won't let you.
Number 4. Office Space.
Yeah. If you could just go ahead and make sure you do that from now on, that would be great.
Considering its enormous fame in meme culture, it's hard to imagine a time when Office Space was considered irrelevant. One only needs to go back to the winter of 1999. Despite strong reviews, Office Space performed about as well as that printer, spending just 1 week in the top 10 when it debuted at number 8. It went on to gross just $12 million, which was considered a huge disappointment for both Fox and director Mike Judge.
You were supposed to come in on Saturday. What were you doing? Michael, I did nothing. I did absolutely nothing, and it was everything that I thought it could be.
But it wasn't long before word of mouth and Lumbergh impressions spread, and the movie sold like hotcakes on DVD. It soon exploded in popularity and is now seen as one of the defining workplace comedies, not to mention one of the most quotable movies ever.
What would you say you do here?
Number 3. Fight Club.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
In 1995, David Fincher released Seven, which instantly made him a household name. It received praise for its story and famous twist ending, helping solidify Brad Pitt as a star, and grossed over $320 million. By comparison, Fight Club was a huge disappointment.
I found freedom. Losing all hope was freedom.
It was a marketing misfire, with Fox leaning into the bare-knuckle fighting and making it look like a macho action movie. As such, it earned a very middling B- cinema score and underperformed at the box office, grossing $100 million on a $65 million budget. But once again, DVD strongly helped its reception, and the country's post-9/11 malaise helped it resonate more strongly with a now disillusioned populace. It is now considered one of Fincher's finest, and easily one of his most popular.
You met me at a very strange time in my life.
Number 2, The Iron Giant.
We did find this. United States government, huh? Guess that means something big's happening here, eh?
Warner Brothers president Lorenzo Di Bonaventura was irate at the failure of The Iron Giant, claiming that its box office performance was exactly why studios don't make good original movies. According to him, every time you do, you get slaughtered. And The Iron Giant was indeed slaughtered, opening in 9th place and grossing just $31 million on a $50 million budget.
He's not the hero, he's the villain. He's not like you. You're a good guy. Like Superman.
The reasons for its failure are many, including poor marketing as a result of Warner Brothers losing confidence in animation due to the failure of 1998's Quest for Camelot, and a mistimed release window, forcing it to compete with cultural juggernauts like The Sixth Sense and The Blair Witch Project. Regardless, it was and continues to be a widely praised film, with many devotees calling it one of the best animated movies of all time.
It's difficult to raise a boy all alone.
We could make it more difficult. In fact, we could make it so difficult that it would be irresponsible for us to leave you in her care. And all that that implies. You'll be taken away from her, Hogarth.
You can't do that!
Oh, we can. And we will.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, The Shawshank Redemption.
Let me tell you something, my friend. Hope is a dangerous thing. Hope can drive a man insane.
The critics had it right. The Shawshank Redemption received excellent reviews upon release and was nominated for 7 Academy Awards, making it a bona fide critical darling. But like most critical darlings, it failed to find a wide audience, grossing just $16 million on a $25 million budget.
You know, the funny thing is, on the outside, I was an honest man, straight as an arrow. I had to come to prison to be a crook.
According to one funny anecdote, director Frank Darabont and producer Liz Glotzer went to the Hollywood Cinerama Dome one night to gauge the audience's reaction, only to find the theater completely empty. Of course, no one could predict just what a behemoth The Shawshank Redemption would become, and it has proudly sat atop the IMDb Top 250 for many years, even beating The Godfather.
I guess it comes down to a simple choice, really. Get busy living, or get busy dying.
What other cult classics from the 90s do you recommend? Let us know in the comments below.
It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything.